Hey, what's going on, everybody? I don't know if anyone else has gone through the same things I've gone through, but I've read a lot of forums and I've gone through Google left and right, up and down to see what I can do to help me out with the situation. Basically, my surgery was 4 weeks ago on 7/30/2018. And I gotta tell you, it has been a struggle up until this point. And right now I'm like on my 4th week. This Monday will be 4 weeks total. So, since having a hiatal hernia repair with the gastric sleeve, here are some of the issues I've had to deal with. The first week out of surgery, I spent a night there, and then the next following day, I was released. They did not do a swallow test. They followed my vital signs to make sure I didn't have any leakage in my sleeve. I didn't have leakage, but I really didn't eat or drink much the first day or two after my surgery. Then I'd say the 3rd or 4th day, I started to feel, okay, yeah, I got a lot of gas pain. That was really horrible. Like the worst pain ever. And I've had several other surgeries in the past, and it was never to that extreme, to the point where I was in so much agony. I couldn't pass gas. I couldn't do anything to get rid of it but burp. And then, of course, your sleeve is so tight, it's like you can't get out that much gas. You know what I mean? So that was one major thing. It's just the gas pain. And that eventually subsided over a couple of weeks or so. Another thing is I noticed that I had like shallow breathing. And I was like, why am I breathing shallow? And I had to catch myself when I'm thinking about it. And I have to do deep breaths, like, and breathe in and breathe out, because I'm noticing that I'm like, damn, am I breathing? Because I'm breathing so shallow. And then also too, shortness of breath. Like sometimes if I'm just walking short distance, I notice that I'm just like, I'm tired, you know what I mean? And this was like the first couple of weeks, even into the 3rd week, I was feeling like that. I didn't have energy to do anything at all, but just sit up, walk around for about 10 minutes, less than that, because I was so drained and I hadn't taken any vitamins, hadn't eaten anything, so it's like really hard for me. But they do tell you to make sure that you walk a lot after surgery. You don't want to get blood clots, but I actually had the leg compression things to go on your legs when you sleep at night, so that helped to help me to get a good night's sleep. Another thing was I had a lot of swallow pressure pains the first 2 weeks. I couldn't really swallow water, anything. It didn't matter what it was. I could not do it because it was just pressure pains right here in this chest cavity, because that's where they did the hiatal hernia repair. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, it would take all day for me to like get used to swallowing water, because they say drink something every 15 minutes. And I was just sipping as I go throughout the day, making sure that I got enough liquids in so that I wouldn't get dehydrated, because that was another thing too. They were just like, don't get dehydrated or else you'll be right back here. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to this damn hospital. Damn that, because the nursing, the facility, everything I just did not like. We'll get into that a whole nother video. Let's move on. Nothing else other than the swallow pressure pains and everything like that. I went to see my doctor last week, and he prescribed me some steroid pills to kind of help me with that pressure pain of swallowing. And also finally did a test, because I asked his ass to do a test, and he's like, okay, let's go ahead and do the swallow test. Finally finds out my bottom of my stomach is swollen. It was swollen a little bit too much, so he was like, these steroid pills are going to help you a lot. So I said, okay. So took those steroid pills. They helped a lot. They helped a lot. I was feeling so much better, but then I stopped having to take them because I only had like 6 pills. And after I stopped taking those pills, it was like, yeah, I'm starting to feel the same way. But I know it's just going to take my body time to heal and everything like that, so I just have to be a little bit more patient. And I'm impatient because I like to get back to working out as soon as possible. Now let's get into the sleeve. So here's the thing. TMI, this is going to be a little gross, so discretion is advised. With my hiatal hernia and all of those issues that came with it, I was just not even worried too much about the sleeve, because the first couple of days or few days after the surgery, I was able to take in full liquids. And then it seemed as though later on that week, and into the 2nd week and into the 3rd week, I started to have what they call the slimes. Basically, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I would take in liquids. I would take in, very, very strained out type of like soups or whatever into a liquid phase. And it was like, I was just puking up slime. I was puking up a lot of mucus and a lot of saliva, and it was just gross. And I was like, oh my God, it would be so bad that I would just be like, you know, effortlessly regurgitating nothing but mucus out of my throat. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? What I did not know is that, yeah, I have sinus drainage that's going into my stomach pouch instead of out of my nose. And because of that, it's filling my pouch up and it's causing me not to be able to consume any type of like full liquids without me regurgitating this nasty ball of snot out of my mouth, okay? And it would get too bad to the point where I would just regurgitate to the point where I just throw up, and I'm just throwing up constantly. And once it starts, it doesn't stop. It's like P. Diddy. Can't stop, won't stop. And I'm like, oh my God, it takes so much out of you to throw up. And then not only that, you just had surgery, you got staples in your stomach, you don't want to pop a staple out from throwing up, so it's kind of like, ugh, it's so gross. But I would find myself just chilling in the bathroom, just regurgitating this nasty ball of slime. So what happened is I looked online, and a lot of people were like, allergy medicine helps, this, that helps. So I was like, I'm gonna just call my doctor. So I tried to call his ass. He wasn't available, so I just called, talk to the doctor on call. And so the doctor was very nice, very patient with me, listened to all of my concerns. So I was like, damn, I should have showed you, but hey, you know, you live and you learn. He basically said, yes, basically that's your sinus draining into your pouch because your pouch is so new and it's so small, it can't hold the food, and you know, you got to make room for that, and so it's going to come up or whatever. So what you need to do is go ahead and get you like a decongestion type of allergy pill, and then you also need to get like a nasal spray, and that should help you a little bit until your stomach gets used to the new way of life. And so I started taking those for like a couple of weeks. It really wasn't helping because I was like just continuously throwing up. And I noticed I would only throw up if I had like soups that had noodles in it, or if I had like tried to drink like one of my protein shakes, or if I tried to do anything that had anything to do with dairy. And then that's when I noticed, okay, that's a problem. I can't tolerate dairy anymore. Reason why is because it's mucus inducing, and so that means that anything dairy product, eggs, milk, butter, whatever has dairy in it, I cannot tolerate it at this time. Although when I talked to my doctor, he said, yeah, you'll be able to tolerate it, but just not at this time. You just have to give yourself some time. I'm like, ugh. That's the last thing I need. I love eggs. Eggs has a lot of good protein in it. A lot of good dairy products have protein in it, and I can't have it. So one thing I did not expect with the gastric sleeve is having acne. If you guys can see, like, my face is like completely broken out. I haven't eaten anything. I don't eat any sweets. I can't eat anything that has high in sugar, high in fat, high in calories. So it's like my actual face just broke out of nowhere, and I'm thinking maybe I was allergic to something, sleeping over at my mom's house. Maybe it was the detergent that they used, but no, it's just your body is just it's malnourished. It doesn't have the natural vitamins and nutrients that it needs in order to help keep a healthy body. So I noticed that when I started to take my biotin, that it started to clear up. But then when I was having so much puking issues, I had to stop taking my vitamins to take my steroids, and then the breakout came again. So one thing you do want to do is include biotin into your vitamin regimens, because that's going to help you with your skin, nails, and hair. Also too, let's talk a little bit more about hair. I know a lot of people say they lose their hair sheds a lot. I have natural hair up under this wig. Now, I have to make sure I do biotin and a protein treatment twice a month. Now that I am back on an actual regimen of taking my vitamins, I have to spread it out throughout the day. So I can't take anything but very small pills. Also, since I have really bad sinus drainage, it's very hard for me to take any type of pill without me throwing up all that mucus. So what I do as my regimen, and I've been doing this for the last 3 days, and it really has helped, is the first thing in the morning, I always have a glass of water near me on my nightstand, so I'll take a couple of sips of that just to wet my whistle. After that, I fix me something warm, like a green tea or something like that, or an herbal tea, and I have sips of that in the morning just to clear that sinus drainage overnight. Then I'll take my multivitamin, and then I'll wait a little bit and I'll take a Prozac. Prozac is basically an anti-acid type of pill. It really does help because with me spitting up so much and regurgitating so much, it helps with heartburn. And trust me, I stopped taking that for like a couple of days and I had heartburn and it was not the best. Okay. Another thing is too, like I said, I'm not really even taking pills. I'm taking either a chewable tablet, a liquid form, or a spray. I have vitamin B12 that I spray once a week. As far as with my gastric sleeve, I have not been able to hold down much except for this week. Literally, I have noticed that I'm able to hold down a little, and it's really important that you do take your time. So whatever I can puree in my mouth to like complete mush, I can eat, as long as it's dry. So tuna, salmon, these are two things that are not mucus inducing, so I can eat those without having to gag up anything. Now, as far as with my tuna, what I do is I'll mix it, like I said, with mayonnaise, and then I have my baby spoons. Baby spoons are like life. Do you understand me? If you have your regular spoons, you're gonna be making those big, you know, spoonfuls, and you put all of that in your mouth, and you have to swallow it down. Well, they say take your time to swallow, take your time to chew it up and mush it up. These really helped. I got this is at Walmart. I got like a little 10 pack of these, and it's different assorted colors. And because look how small that spoon thing is. It was really weird because when I was looking for baby spoons, like most of the baby spoons were like big, like regular spoons. I was like, I need something smaller than that. But this has really helped. And also too, this is very, very small container that I keep like my little small amount of tuna in here. Like even small bowls, my sister had the gastric sleeve in 2014 and she got these really small tiny bowls. I can't even eat out of that. So what I do is I put it in these containers, so if I want to go to it, I can go to it, eat a couple of spoonfuls, and then put it back into the container, into the freezer, because I got a lot of food in there. Trust me, it's a lot. Another thing that is life is ice. Okay, I chew on ice pretty much every day. One of my very best ice is Sonic ice. So good. So if I run out of ice, I'll just run back to the Sonic up the street and get another bag of Sonic ice. I'll hold it in one of these tumblers that keeps the ice cold literally all day. And so if it melts and it's been in there for a while, I'll drink the water out of it, but I'll continue to eat on this ice, and I'll keep refilling it up until I've had my share of enough ice throughout the day. Now, as far as with drinks, I am still on a low sugar, low calorie type of drinks. Now, the ones that I can't tolerate, I just make sure I get enough of that. Things that I can't tolerate, that I know is probably good, especially when you're not getting enough nutrients, and stuff like Pedialyte, Gatorade, things with electrolytes in it to help with your immune system and everything like that. I can't tolerate Pedialyte because it's like 22 grams of sugar. Gatorade is really high in sugar. Anything that's like 10 grams or less, I can kind of tolerate if I dilute it with water. If it's anything more than that and I try and dilute it with water, I get the spits and I'm throwing up and I can't do it. The further I get away from my actual surgery date, the better the days are. Anyways, I hope this video was informational. I hope that you guys were able to take something from it that will help you. If not, then I would definitely suggest contacting your doctor or contacting another doctor just to make sure everything is okay, because the last thing you want to do is deal with the stricture, and that's basically if your stomach heals and it's tighter than usual and it doesn't open up the normal way. And then in that case, they either have to go in and do another surgery, or they have to go in with a balloon just to blow it up. And I'm hoping that I don't ever have to go through that, because I don't want to go through another surgery ever in life. So anyways, until the next video, you guys, the more I get healed and the more I get away from the surgery date, I will bring you more videos. We'll do a whole lot more updates. You can follow me on Patreon, where I have a lot more personal videos of just my whole journey. You can see everything there. And also, you can follow me on Instagram, because I do have Fit for a Goddess, and that way you can actually see a little bit more into my life. If you guys are wanting to follow my journey, just make sure you follow the rules, give yourself time to heal, stay positive, love on yourself, find things to do, and just enjoy the journey. Until the next video, you guys, thank you so much for watching.